You've had that loaf sitting on your counter for a week. Still soft, still squishy. Your grandmother's bread went stale in 2 days. Same ingredients: flour, yeast, water, salt. So what changed? In 1961, a laboratory in England rewrote the recipe for civilization's oldest food. They cut the process from 12 hours to 3.5. 80% of the bread you've ever eaten came from that single invention. Let's explore the process. The oldest bread ever found came from a fire pit in Jordan, 14,000 years old. Before agriculture, before civilization. Hunter-gatherers ground wild wheat into flour, mixed it with water, and baked flatbreads on hot stones. Archaeologists long believed farming came first, then bread. They had it backwards. The craving for bread may have pushed humans to settle down and plant crops. From that Jordan fire pit to ancient Egypt, the recipe stayed remarkably simple. Flour, water, time. The Egyptians discovered that leaving dough exposed to air made it rise. Wild yeast floating in the environment colonized the mixture, producing carbon dioxide bubbles that lifted the dough into something light. They called this magic. We call it fermentation. For 5,000 years, bread required one essential thing: patience. Traditional bread takes 12 to 24 hours to make. When flour meets water, two proteins called glutenin and gliadin begin forming bonds. These chains stretch and link into an elastic network called gluten. The dough becomes stretchy enough to trap gas, flexible enough to expand without tearing. You can feel it happening under your hands. The shaggy mess transforms into something smooth, supple, almost alive. But gluten development needs time. So does fermentation. Yeast cells digest sugars, releasing carbon dioxide that creates air pockets. Lactic acid bacteria produce organic acids, creating that subtle tang. Traditional bakers mixed dough at dawn, shaped it at sunset, baked at midnight. The bread emerged with a crackling crust and chewy interior. This was bread for millennia. In 1961, researchers at the British Baking Industries Research Association in Chorleywood invented a process that changed everything. Traditional fermentation took too long for industrial production. Their solution was mechanical violence. High-speed mixers spinning at 400 revolutions per minute. 3 minutes of intense mechanical energy accomplishes what 12 hours of fermentation once did. The dough temperature spikes from friction. They pump in refrigerated water to cool it down. But mechanical mixing alone can't replicate chemistry. So they added what they called improvers. Vitamin C to strengthen gluten. Hard fats to stabilize air bubbles. Extra yeast, 2 to 3 times the traditional amount. The result? Flour to wrapped loaf in 3.5 hours. Here's where the story flips. Those improvers became a doorway for an entire chemical ecosystem. Modern industrial bread can contain up to 30 ingredients, though you'll never see most of them on the label. Enzymes don't count as ingredients because they're classified as processing aids, supposedly consumed during baking. But they fundamentally change what the bread becomes. Fungal alpha amylase breaks down starch, so the bread stays soft for weeks. Transglutaminase cross-links proteins to simulate the gluten network that fermentation would naturally build. Lipases modify fats to prevent staling. These aren't additions. They're substitutes for time itself. The bread isn't naturally soft. It's engineered to stay soft through chemistry. Compare the two processes. Traditional sourdough ferments for 12 to 24 hours using wild yeast and bacteria. Long fermentation breaks down gluten and phytic acid, making nutrients more available. The bread develops complex flavors through slow chemistry. It stales within days because nothing artificial prevents it. Industrial bread ferments for minutes, if at all. Mechanical mixing and enzymes replace what fermentation provided. The bread stays soft for weeks, but tastes like cotton with a hint of sweetness. Neither approach is simply better. Traditional bread requires skill and accepts that bread is ephemeral. Industrial bread feeds cities cheaply and efficiently. The choice is yours. A process refined over millennia, or one invented 60 years ago to maximize output. What most people miss is the labeling loophole. In the United States and European Union, enzymes don't require disclosure if they're technically consumed during production. A manufacturer can legally list flour, water, yeast, salt, while the dough actually contains fungal amylases, bacterial proteases, and lipases from various microorganisms. These enzymes denature from heat during baking, but their structural effects remain permanently. The bread's texture, softness, and extended shelf life all reflect their invisible presence. Some researchers have found residual enzyme activity in finished bread. The industry prefers you imagine artisan hands kneading dough, not high-speed mixers and enzyme cocktails designed in laboratories. The Chorleywood process wasn't invented by villains. Britain after World War II desperately needed cheap calories and couldn't import expensive high-protein wheat from abroad. The process solved a real problem. It made bread affordable for millions of families. But something was lost in the exchange. That 12-hour transformation wasn't just inefficiency. It was flavor development, digestibility, and honest simplicity. When you buy bread that stays soft for 2 weeks, you're buying chemistry disguised as tradition. When you buy bread that goes stale in 3 days, you're buying time. The oldest human food had 4 ingredients. We've added 30 more to save 12 hours. The next time you squeeze a loaf at the supermarket, you're not testing freshness. You're testing how many enzymes worked overnight while you weren't looking. That bread was soft before it ever reached the shelf. It was engineered soft. Traditional bread earns its texture through patience. Hours of fermentation developing structure naturally. Industrial bread simulates the same texture through chemistry in minutes. Same shelf, same wrapper, completely different processes. So, which one's been sitting in your kitchen this whole time?